If your store's been stuck around 10 to 30 grand a month on Shopify, I got news that'll save you a lot of wasted ad spend. Now, more traffic is not your problem. In the next few minutes, I'll show you the 5 levers that actually grow an e-commerce business in 2026 and the exact order in which to pull them. Now, most owners obsess over these and completely ignore the other 4. That's why they stall. Now, if you get all 5 moving in the same direction, your revenue doesn't just add up, it multiplies. And if you're new here, I'm David Paratino from Paratino Digital. I've bootstrapped an e-commerce brand to 7 figures, and now I manage meta ads for brands doing tens to hundreds of millions of dollars in annual revenue. And I help e-commerce stores grow from big to small. And I make videos like this daily so that you can stay up to date with the latest trends in e-commerce and growth marketing. So if this is helpful, subscribe, like, and make sure that you never miss out. All right, so let's dive into it. The problem is that a lot of stores think more traffic will solve their problem. And a lot of stores will hit a ceiling and the owner will do the most obvious thing to them, which is to buy more traffic, right? Invest more traffic, give Zuckerberg more dollars, right? And the problem is that a lot of stores don't actually have a traffic problem. They have a leaky store. Their store converts low. Their average order value is low, and almost nobody comes back for a second order. So when you pour more ad spend on top of that, you actually don't fix anything. You just scale the wrong problem and you burn cash faster. So here's the part that changes how you think about growth. These levers actually multiply. They don't add. So if you improve 4 of them by just 20% each, you roughly double your revenue. That's why we never touch the ad account in isolation. When we take on clients, we work on all the levers, right? And here's the growth equation. It's really a simple equation. Traffic or visitors times conversion rate times your AOV times your repeat purchase rate, right? So that gives you your revenue. And again, all these numbers work together. And if you can prove each one 20%, you double your revenue, right? So get the right traffic, raise your conversion rate, increase your average order value, win the repeat purchase rate, and know your numbers, right? So let's take them one at a time. Traffic. Lever number 1, let's get more of the right traffic. Not just more traffic, more of the right traffic. And I said traffic on purpose because more clicks from the wrong people just cost you more money in the end. You want buyers. So match your offer to your audience, run exclusively 1 paid channel at the start, which is meta for 99% of e-commerce brands at the start. Get it profitable before you add anything else. Once you have that channel dialed in, it beats 5 half-run channels, right? Every single time. Sometimes clients will come to me, they're spending $10,000 a month and they have ad spend on 5 different channels. It is impossible to know which one is doing the best. And typically, if you just consolidated that on Meta, you would see better performance and more dollars in your bank account at the end of the month. And so build your own channels alongside of what you're running with paid, your email list, your content, because those work together to reduce your CAC, your blended CAC over time. And here's the rule. Don't scale spend until you have a funnel behind it that actually converts, which brings me to lever number 2. Raise your conversion rate. This is the cheapest growth out there because it's the same traffic running to your site. You're just getting more sales with no extra ad spend at all. So in 2026, you want a fast site. You want a mobile-friendly site. You want a clear offer above the fold. You want one obvious call to action. You want to build trust with reviews. You want real photos. You want a guarantee. You want to rip any friction out of the checkout. And here's why it's worth your time. If you can move from a 1.5% conversion rate to a 2.5 conversion rate, that is about a 60% jump in revenue, right? Same traffic, which brings me to lever number 3. Increase your average order value. This is the one that I told you to wait for, and this is one that is a easy lever that brands often mix. Every extra dollar that someone spends per order drops almost straight to profit because you already paid for the order, you already paid to get them there. So make them buy more, make that the easy choice. Use bundles, use volume discounts, use shipping thresholds, right? That's extra revenue that you can generate. And also you can test one-click upsells post-purchase as well after the customer's checked out, which gives you zero risk to the sale. And a simple trick is to, again, if you want to raise average order value, a super simple trick that I see brands miss all the time and I recommend all the time is to simply set your free shipping threshold 10 to 20% higher than your average order value, right? That is one great way to quickly test the incrementality of your new free shipping threshold, right? It essentially nudges people up every single order, and 95% of the time I see conclusively that tests like this work. So after you've done all that, you need to win the repeat purchase rate. This is where e-commerce businesses can win or lose, right? You can build an incredible e-commerce business if you have the repeat purchase rate dialed in, and most stores don't, right? So obviously you want to set your core email flows and SMS flows in Klaviyo, not random blasts, right? Automated flows that set and forget, right? Set them up once, never forget. You need a welcome series, you need an abandoned cart flow, post-purchase flow, and a win-back flow for customers who have purchased in the past but are kind of quiet. And done right, these flows commonly drive 20 to 40% of your total revenue. That's basically free sales that you're not collecting. And lever number 5, know your numbers. You can't scale if you don't know what to measure. You can't win the game if you don't see the scoreboard. Growth without numbers is just gambling with extra steps. So you need to know 3 cold. You need to know your gross margin. You need to know your cost to acquire a customer, and you need to know your customer lifetime value. From there, you can calculate your break-even return on ad spend. That's 1 divided by your gross margin. That single number tells you exactly what you need to win in the ad account. You know exactly when an ad is winning. You know when an ad is quietly losing money as well, even though sales look fine. This is the very first thing that I map out when I take over a brand's account, because a lot of brands are just blindly spending and they don't have their numbers dialed in. And every single scaling decision should be based on your goals, your targets, what it takes for you to be profitable. Now, there are some rookie mistakes. Number 1, buying more traffic to a leaky store, right? More spend on a store converting at 1.5% just loses money faster. We already went over this. Number 2, competing on price. Discounting kills your margin. It is a losing game to have a discounting brand in e-commerce. Raise your value and your order value instead. Right? Step number 3 is ignoring email until later. There's 20 to 40% of revenue left on your table. And number 4 is scaling without even knowing what your break-even ROAS is. Without that, without knowing your numbers, you're flying blind. Avoid these 4 and you're already ahead of most stores at smaller scale. All right, so let's recap. You need to get the right traffic, you need to raise your conversion rates, increase your AOV, you need to win the repeat purchase rate, and you need to know your numbers. Pull all 5 of these levers, that's when real growth compounds. That's when you finally break out of the 10 to 30K a month plateau. And look, here's the next step. Comment the word grow below and I'll send you my free growth checklist, the same one that we run internally for all of our clients. And if you'd rather just have me look at your store and your ad account and tell me where your biggest leak is, send me a DM on LinkedIn or X, and I'd be more than happy to schedule a call. I can walk you through everything and see if we'd be a good fit. And subscribe to this channel if this video is valuable. I put a new one out every single day, and I will see you on the next video.